between.
Always thought she was a very well-kept woman. He and Mrs. Holman began a relationship without Mr. Holman's knowledge.
Miller told police he and Tammy were close, and her husband was becoming arrested Tammy Holman for the murder of her husband.
Tammy?
Charlie Miller was basically double-crossed by Mrs. Holman. He thought he was going to get to live the life that Larry Holman lived.
Linda's husband, Jack Jones, lay on the floor in a puddle of blood, his hands and feet bound with duct tape. He was not breathing. The deputy began CPR. Distraught and inconsolable, his wife could offer few lucid details. Paramedics
drug into an adjacent room, and on the wall, as he rounded the corner, it looked as if he had had his hands on the door corner trying to hold himself back. And then once he was in the other room, that is where he was literally beaten to death.
Of that. There wasn't any redness on her mouth or her face. That didn't seem quite right, because normally duct tape will leave a residue, or they'll leave a redness when you snatch that thing off.
Police were left with many questions. An autopsy provided few answers. The coroner's report revealed broken ribs, skull fractures, and severe contusions from the knees to the top of his head. Investigators hoped Jones's widow might shed some light on the case. Her response, however, surprised them. It seemed that Jack was planning to divorce his wife. But Linda had threatened suicide. The girlfriend also told police of another incident 1 week before the murder. Tape wrapped around the wrists of his wife, however, bore a tiny triangular pattern. Landscaping business finances led to the accounting office in Jacksonville, where Linda Jones worked.
Linda Jones did Donald Bradley's taxes and did work for him. She knew him, and boom, right away, he was coming into focus in this case. One of the things I do routinely when somebody is taxes with you on the telephone, well, she's duct taped, and her husband's being beat to death, and some guy's sitting on her in the living room of their house. I mean, how could this happen? And he couldn't answer that.
For Lieutenant Redmond, Donald Bradley's story was unbelievable.
We felt.
But an unidentified fingerprint indicated that at least